So this is part 2 of the Metaphysical Christ from Kryon, because I had to do some housekeeping and delete some files so I could continue recording. To the metaphysician, the most unfortunate part of the whole historic event of Jesus' visit is what men in power made of it. Jesus' words were translated and interpreted to seemingly demean and tear down the spirit and the will of man, i.e., no man is worthy, we are born into sin, everyone falls short, there is nothing you personally can do to lift yourself out of your unworthiness. The spirit of man is sin. You are born with the legacy of going to hell when you die. Since you can't do anything worthy, you have to give over your responsibility to a higher power. If things go great for you, then you had nothing to do with it. Christians are taught very early that you have to turn your power or your life power over to Jesus to lift you out of this mire that is your own human unworthiness. Men are supposed to have killed the Son of God. They teach that guilt is expected and sorrow is appreciated by God. Forgiveness by God follows, and the metaphor of Jesus being the shepherd and the humans being the sheep is repeated over and over in the scriptures. Sheep, as you know, are not expected to do any thinking for themselves. This concept is the biggest void of belief between the metaphysical Jesus and the Christian's Jesus. Metaphysicians don't believe that Jesus meant this at all. They don't believe that Jesus wanted to be worshipped as a deity either. His words mean something entirely different to those who embrace this new, universal belief. And his reported death does not have the same significance. Metaphysical people believe that each person is born into the world as a spiritual-based human being with the total power of God within, just waiting to be used through spiritual understanding. They also feel that each person is responsible for his own life and his own power. Turning your life over to God is not to lose control, but to take control. Using the teachings of Jesus and others as a guide to give you the power that was yours all along. Jesus didn't come to make us sheep. He came to give instructions on how to awaken the shepherd in each of us. This is called taking your power. Metaphysicians are concerned with the here and now, even though there is often a great deal of spectacular publicity on the ancillary sidelines, such as past lives, UFOs, and psychic phenomenon. The real metaphysician is concerned with self-improvement through the study of how to use the universal laws taught by Jesus and others to lift themselves to a higher consciousness while on earth. Another way of saying that they believe they can have better lives and have peace, health, and joy while on earth through tapping into the power of God, which is available for all, as taught by Jesus. At the same time they do this, they are helping to raise the consciousness of the planet through prayer, the real object of our time on earth. This universal kind of belief could simply be viewed as just another sect, another one of the hundreds of diverse ones that exist now. So what's the difference? Are metaphysical people just another group who feel they know God better than the rest? Then they are no different than the others. Perhaps this could be true, but on inspection, note the unique differences of metaphysical belief. All other human beliefs are respected. No other system is made wrong. Metaphysicians are not evangelical. They are not doctrine-driven. The specifics are often left up to the individual. There is no human power center. Rules are self-imposed and governed only by the individual, and for the most part, they believe in and practice the universal love teachings of Jesus. The metaphysical belief system briefly summarized. The actual word metaphysics is fairly intangible. A popular thesaurus gives these examples of words that refer to metaphysics. Let's see if I can read these. Spiritual, metaphysical, adjective, spiritual, bodiless, celestial, disembodied, ethereal, heavenly, incorporeal, insubstantial, intangible, non-material, unearthly, unreal, unsubstantial. I'm not sure what those couple letters are, but I'll read it. Might be a noun. No, it's not noun. Weird, bizarre, eerie, ghostly, incredible, mystical, odd, ominous, spooky, strange, supernatural, uncanny, or unearthly. Perhaps unearthly. Since the words bizarre, odd, spooky, strange, and supernatural made it to the official thesaurus, you can, so that was the thesaurus. You can imagine the impression most people have of the metaphysician. Here is a brief description of what metaphysical people are really about. Number one, to a metaphysician, God is a concept that refers to a unified collective consciousness of all of us together, the great I am. This means that each human is a piece of God. While on earth, however, this fact is veiled from the individual. This very veil is described in the Holy Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12, the great love chapter, which beautifully describes love in the universal scheme of things. In this verse, it is noted that we see the truth as though through a darkened glass, and that only when we are face to face, one with God, will we know everything. Yes. The beauty of the translation in the King James Version is that it is very metaphysical. But then shall I know, even as also I am known. This is to say that the knower is also the known, an unmistakable tie to the God entity within each of us. Many think that to believe we each have the power of God is ridiculous, but the prophet John clearly stated that each one of us has the power to become as Jesus, a son of God, one who is born or begotten of the main spirit, That's John chapter 1, verse 12. So what's the point? If we are God, who's running the show while we are here? The answer, and perhaps a confusing one, we are. As part of God, we decided to come here and we collectively agreed on the lessons to be presented. When we leave, we will collectively judge ourselves and our performance and continue toward a goal of perfection, complete love energy for the entire universe. This is why metaphysical people are always saying there are no accidents, things happen for a reason, children die, wars take place, people are healed, all within the scope of what is supposed to happen for the benefit of those humans who are here to learn. It is a big school with many levels. Our time here is but a blink of an eye to the whole scheme. While we are here, we get help from others who have agreed to come with us that perhaps are unseen. Spooky, huh? More on this later. I have to stop here because I'm running short of video space again. So, to be continued.